Comando Vermelho, Red Command, Brazil. Full Overview 1. Origins and History. Comando Vermelho, CV, is one of Brazil's most powerful and violent criminal organizations. It originated in the early 1970s during Brazil's military dictatorship. Birthplace: Ilha Grande Prison, a now closed high-security island prison near Rio de Janeiro. Founding alliance: a mix of leftist political prisoners and common criminals. Ideology: initially influenced by socialist ideas and revolutionary solidarity, hence the name Red Command. Shift: over time, the political motives faded and were replaced entirely by criminal enterprise goals, especially drug trafficking. Power and structure headquarters: Rio de Janeiro, especially in the favelas, slums, like Complexo do Alemão and Cidade de Deus. Structure: loosely hierarchical but decentralized. Operates through regional factions led by traficantes, drug dealers. Leadership: top leaders often operate from within the prison system. External operatives act as franchise bosses. Activities: main: illegal operations. Drug trafficking, cocaine, marijuana and crack are smuggled in from Colombia, Peru and Bolivia and sold domestically or exported to Europe and Africa. Arms trafficking: heavy weaponry and small arms often used to maintain control over favelas. Extortion: local businesses in CV-controlled areas must pay protection fees. Bank robberies and carjacking, kidnapping and assassinations control of favelas. They enforce their own rules, often supplanting state authority in slum communities. Influence and force: estimated members, 10,000 plus nationwide. Exact numbers vary due to constant conflict. Territorial control, primarily in Rio de Janeiro, but expanded to other states like Amazonas, Ceará, Pará, and even São Paulo. Armed power, equipped with AK-47s, AR-15s, grenades, RPGs, and armored vehicles in some cases. Social power provides social services like food, medicine, and entertainment in poor communities to gain loyalty. Rivalries prime: rival, primeiro comando da capital, PCC, São Paulo-based group. Their rivalry exploded into violent turf wars across Brazil. Other enemies: milícias, paramilitary mafias formed by ex-cops, and smaller gangs like Terceiro Comando Puro. Notable incidents: Complexo do Alemão uprising, 2010, massive operation, with tanks and helicopters to retake CV territory. Prison riots, 2017. Brutal conflicts between CV and PCC led to dozens of inmates killed. Expansion abroad: CV has connections with drug cartels in Paraguay, Bolivia, and even Europe. Modern day and challenges: still active, CV remains a dominant force in Rio and other parts of Brazil. Changing tactics: moves toward more business-like operations, including international trafficking networks. Government response includes military interventions, police operations, and some controversial shoot-to-kill policies in favelas. Expansion beyond Rio. Originally based in Rio de Janeiro, CV began expanding its influence nationally and internationally in the 2000s and 2010s. Inside Brazil, Amazonas, and northern Brazil, CV moved into Manaus and surrounding areas to control trafficking routes through the Amazon River and borders with Colombia and Venezuela. Northeast and Midwest, states like Bahia, Ceará, Goiás, and Distrito Federal saw surges in CV-related violence and turf wars. Prison takeovers: gained control of prisons across Brazil, using them as recruitment and command centers. International reach: Paraguay and Bolivia. CV maintains close ties with cocaine producers. They operate cross-border smuggling routes and sometimes assist local narcos. Colombia: indirect partnerships with dissident FARC members and local traffickers. Europe: cocaine distribution networks in Portugal, Spain, the Netherlands, and other parts of Western Europe, often via Brazil-Africa-Europe smuggling pipelines. Shifts in ideology from revolution to revenue. In the 1970s, CV had Marxist undertones, inspired by resistance to the military dictatorship. Their motto was peace, justice and liberty. 1980s-90s. Ideology was replaced by profit. Violence became a method to secure drug routes, not political messages. Today, CV still uses the red label, but it has no political agenda, just territorial and economic domination. Societal. Impact and paradox. CV's control in favelas is often more efficient than the state, especially in neglected communities. Parallel power. Examples. Justice system. CV enforces its own code, e.g., punishing rapists and thieves, arbitrating disputes. Public services distributes food, medicine, or loans money during hard times. Cultural reach sponsors bail funks, street parties, football tournaments, and provides employment, illegal or semi-legal. Paradox. Some communities see CV as protectors, even while fearing their violence. The state's absence makes room for CV's influence. Tactics and communication, heavily armed. Use of assault rifles, hand grenades, and even improvised armored vehicles. Digital presence. Members use WhatsApp, Telegram, and social media to coordinate, threaten, and recruit. Use of children. Often employ young lookouts, oleros, runners, and even child soldiers. Qual. Recruitment and culture. Recruitment happens in favelas, prisons, and juvenile detention centers. They exploit poverty, lack of education, and systemic racism. Code of conduct. Loyalty is everything. Snitching or betrayal is met with immediate execution. Symbols. CV uses red bandanas, tattoos. CV or 18 for C being the third letter and V the 22nd. 3 plus 22 are 25, 2 plus 5 are 7, a symbolic number in gang lore. Relationship with the state. Corruption. CV has historically bribed police, judges, and politicians to maintain control. Police clashes. Frequent shootouts with elite police units like BOP, Special Police Operations, Battalion, militias. In some favelas, CV fights not only police, but militias, right-wing, ex-police mafias, who also deal drugs and extort locals. Current status, as of 2025. Leadership. Many top bosses are in high-security prisons like Bangusatu, but still issue orders. Big names: Fernandinho Beiramar, arrested but influential. Marcinho VP, high-profile leader in prison, major threat. Continues to expand via alliances with smaller gangs and prison influence. Weakness: strained resources due to fighting PCC and government crackdowns. Fin. Key timeline of Comando Vermelho, CV per 1979, formation in Ilha Grande prison. Political prisoners and common criminals unite under a code of loyalty and solidarity. 80s. Drug trafficking takes over. The group moves from bank robberies to the drug trade, expanding into Rio's favelas. 1990s. Expansion and rivalries. CV clashes with rival groups like Terceiro Comando and starts to consolidate Rio territory. 94. Split and formation of Terceiro Comando Puro, TCP. A faction breaks off due to leadership disputes. 99. 2001. Rise of Fernandinho Beiramar. CV becomes an international cartel player with ties to FARC in Colombia. 2002. Mass attacks. CV organizes mass attacks on police stations and buses in Rio. The start of urban terrorism tactics. 2006. PCC-CV alliance. Temporary alliance with São Paulo's PCC to coordinate nationwide prison revolts. 2016, 2017. Alliance breaks down. CV and PCC begin brutal prison wars, leading to massacres in northern prisons, Manaus, Roraima, Pará. 2018-2023, increased. Federal operations. Brazilian Army conducts several joint military police interventions in Rio. CV retreats into underground operations. 6. Notable CV leaders: Fernandinho Beiramar, Luiz Fernando da Costa. One of Brazil's most notorious Narcos controlled cocaine routes from Colombia and the Amazon, arrested in Colombia in 2001. still runs parts of CV from prison Marchinho VP, Marcio dos Santos Nepomuceno, commands from Bangu 1 prison, known for his strategic use of media and legal threats, maintains connections with European trafficking cells. Luciano Martiniano da Silva, Macarão, ran operations in the Rocinha favela before being captured. His fall triggered internal disputes and shifts in Control 17. Warfare style and notable battles: urban warfare, CV fights in narrow favela alleys using guerrilla-style tactics. They know the terrain better than police. Barricades and lookouts. Use oleiros, lookouts, and improvised roadblocks to slow police raids. Ambush tactics. Attacks on police bases, patrols, and public buildings during times of conflict. Notable confrontations: Complexo. Dualimo, 2010. Massive police, military assault involving tanks and helicopters to reclaim CV territory. Manaus prison riots, 2017. Over 50 inmates killed in CV versus PCC battles in the north. Jacarezinho raid, 2021. Police raid against CV killed 28, one of Rio's deadliest police operations.